She became that famous for her reincarnation stories that she actually travelled to Ireland to meet those who she believed were her children in a past life. This is a story of Jenny Cockell and it's incredible. From the age of 4, Jenny began having vivid memories. She started to tell her parents that she had in fact lived before. Of course, her parents were sceptical until Jenny started to give details that were so precise it caused curiosity. She told her parents that her name was Mary and that she lived in 1930. She told them that she died in hospital after giving birth to her 8th child, and she was only 35 at the time. She began reading off names, places, towns, all of which didn't sound very English. And at the age of 5, she actually began drawing a map to show her parents where she used to live. It became pretty clear that the place that she had drawn alongside the names of the towns that she'd mentioned was in fact in Ireland. She began getting really agitated and upset purely at the thought that she'd left all these children behind. But it wasn't until later in Jenny's life that this story really took off. By the way, if you enjoy these types of stories, please hit the like and repost. It helps this page and allows me to make more stories just like this. Anyway, what makes this story different is usually kids start to forget these memories as they get older and move on with their life. But this was never the case for Jenny. In fact, by the time Jenny got married and had children, she decided to seek the help of a hypnotherapist to try and dig deeper into her past life. Essentially, she had past life regression. Whilst having these sessions, Jenny found herself being drawn to a place called Malahide. She also felt that this place really resembled that map that she drew as a child. Well, Jenny decided to go to Malahide, to go to Ireland, and when she got there, she found herself walking to a village which felt familiar. In fact, Jenny was convinced that this was the village she used to live in. So, let's just recap. She remembers being called Mary. She knew that she lived in the 1930s. She had 8 children, and on the birth of her last child, she actually passed away in hospital. And she felt very, very drawn to a specific village in Malahide. So Jenny began talking to the locals. They collectively pointed her in the direction of a man who remembers very well a family who lived in that village, that very specific village in Malahide. In fact, everything that Jenny had said to them matched this man's details. There was a family who had 8 children. The mother did in fact pass in childbirth on the last child, and her name was Mary Sutton. He told her that some of the children still live in Ireland and he knows exactly where. So Jenny became adamant that she wanted to meet them. Jenny had to fly back to the UK, and she did. She come back to England. But when she arrived in England, she decided to put an advert in the Irish newspaper with all of the details and basically asking out for these children, who of course are now adults. She was then contacted by John, one of Mary Sutton's children. He said that his brother Sonny had actually moved to England, and Sonny is very willing to meet with Jenny. So they made arrangements to make this happen. In fact, the BBC got wind of this story and decided to broadcast them on a show called Strange But True. They basically had the pair meet live and videoed the whole thing. Sonny realised that every single detail that Jenny had given was in fact true. Her memories matched up, and even when she met Sonny, she broke down in tears. Sonny accepted and believed that Jenny was experiencing reincarnation of his mother, Mary Sutton. Jenny then went on to meet the rest of Mary's children. Jenny's children. Mary's, whose children? Both. Jenny said that once she'd met them, she felt like she could really leave that chapter behind and actually move on with her life as Jenny, because all she ever wanted to know was if her children were okay.